Hi, my name is Jordan and I am on the Braze customer success team. And today I will be walking you through dynamic segmentation. Not only what it's defined to be, but also some examples of how you might consider it in your multi-channel strategy and a real life example from a gaming company that saw incredible results by dynamically segmenting their audience at scale. So, what is dynamic segmentation anyway? Before I can define it, you have to understand what a segment is first. And at its core component, a segment is just a group of people that share something in common. Maybe your audience of users that are based in the Midwest. Maybe your group of people that are opted into your push program. Anyone that's made a purchase within the last 7 days. That is a segment. But dynamic segmentation is where the power comes in. And dynamic segmentation is based off of real-time data. So as someone's doing something, as they're interacting with your brand, as they're opening up messaging, as they're playing a level in your game, you're learning information about them. And they become eligible and ineligible for the audiences. So if you're about to send a lapsing user campaign to anyone that hasn't been in the app in maybe a month, if somebody were to be in that segment, but then moments before you send the message, they start a session in your app, you don't want them to get the "Hey, we miss you" campaign. You want them to become ineligible because they are no longer a lapsing user. Dynamic segmentation allows you to do just that. Because we do not want you to treat everyone the same. This whole one-size-fits-all mentality is such a bummer, and you shouldn't be doing it in this year. Instead, think about your audience and where they are in the customer lifecycle. Are they highly engaged users? Are they lapsing users? Are they passive users? Treat them differently. You don't want to send a "we miss you" to your high-value audience. You don't want to send a "join our VIP program" to somebody that hasn't used your app or your product or your website in weeks. Now, here's an example. Maybe leverage those past actions. It's been some time since they've made a purchase. It's been some time since they've been in the app. What does that make you think about in terms of the channels you might leverage to capture their attention? Definitely not an in-app message. Definitely not a content card. Those are in-app channels and they haven't been in your app or website for some time. Better to use a push notification or an email or an SMS. Likewise, you can identify those high-value users and ask them to do something. Maybe they've read a lot of your content. They've listened to a ton of your podcasts. They've completed a bunch of levels in your game. Ask them if they want to join the VIP program. Ask them if they'd like to upsell to be a premium subscriber. And then cultivate your advocates. If you have an audience of people that are clearly getting value out of your app, they're interacting a lot, they seem to be enjoying themselves, ask them if they'd like to complete a rating or leave a review or share with a friend. You want to ask those highly engaged people to evangelize your brand, not people that haven't been interacting or maybe had a poor experience within the last 2 times they've been on your app. And here's an example of somebody doing it in the real world. This is Dots. Dots is a gaming company, and they determined how they would ask for people to complete an in-app purchase based off of dynamic segmentation. So they aren't going to say, "Hey, come and make a purchase for 99 cents. They really dove into the data and understood their audience and determined their previous buying patterns. If they had spent money in the app before, they were going to ask for a little bit more. But you can see they were asking for a $30 in-app purchase. And if it was your 3rd session and a company asked you to spend $30 on their app, you would think they were out of their mind. But what they did was they recognized people based off of their previous purchase history or how much money they've spent to find the right purchase for them. And they weren't leaving money on the table. They thought you could make a $30 purchase. They're not going to ask you to make a $3 upsell. And they saw some pretty incredible results. One thing that they saw, a 33% increase in total revenue based off of one campaign. Additionally, they saw a 25% increase in total lifetime value for their audience. And that's just because they thought about this in a strategic way to treat their audience as the unique individuals they are. Now that is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to segmentation and how you can do it dynamically at scale. So I'd recommend, if you're interested, check out the article that I wrote. It's called "What is Dynamic Segmentation Anyway?" And you can find it in the perspectives page of the Braze website. Thank you so much for listening.